When only one person claims to have seen a UFO, it's easy to discount their tale as the ramblings of a crazy person. But when a group of people see the same thing, the world's a little more apt to pay attention. That's why these 5 incredible cases of mass alien sightings are so, well, incredible. They all involve groups of people seeing the same strange objects in the sky, with their testimonies and statements being quite sufficient arguments to help prove the existence of visitors from beyond the stars. Before we begin, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get notified every day for more amazing content. With that being said, let's begin. Number 5. Cornwall. Cornwall, usually a sleepy little place, was the place to be for any UFO hunter if a slew of videos posted online are any indication. There have been multiple accounts of this happening, and lots of people have said that they were blown away by what could only be a massive UFO. It looks like something out of an alien invasion movie, and if it is something from another world, it's definitely worth worrying about. Some scientists have claimed that it could be a strange optical illusion or oddly formed dense cloud, but many others have said that it could just as easily be a flock of birds and insects all packed together tightly, making it look as if they all make up one solid object. The speculation was rampant for quite some time, with many people buying in on what actually turned out to be an ad campaign that was put on by a group by the name of the Eden Project. Despite the fact that this turned out to be a non-event by the look of things, there are still videos coming in from the area that suggest to many people that there really is something behind these sightings and that the Eden Project is just an easy cover to hide the real truth, whatever that happens to be. Number 4. Roswell. We all know and love Roswell, although it turns out, when looking back, that all the fuss was a little overhyped, with the Cold War being the reason for all the secrecy instead of a potential alien war with alien tech being reverse engineered. It hasn't had much news to speak of for quite some time, but it seems that some new sightings could end up turning that around, with a new mass UFO sighting that happened just recently paving the way to a new golden age for the town. This new sighting actually came from a group of military students who must have been at least somewhat aware of what was happening on the site and able to tell the difference between military tech and alien spacecraft. The group say they saw the UFO flying over the town and disappearing over the horizon, moving at incredible speed. Around 15 of them were outside around dinner time and say that the craft was shaped like a figure 8 or infinity symbol and that they've never seen anything like it before or after. This definitely adds some depth to the mystery surrounding Roswell and could help shed some light on what's really going on there. Number 3. Clayton South. It's not every day that a large group of school kids can all agree on anything, especially when it comes to UFO sightings. Kids also aren't the best at keeping secrets, especially long term, and we're sure that someone would have spilled the beans on this story eventually if it wasn't true. At least, that's what we'd expect. Instead, not one has since recanted or come out to reveal that the entire Clayton South mass alien sighting was nothing more than an elaborate prank on the town and, eventually, the world. Kids really do say the darndest things. A group of them even agreed recently to speak at a UFO action event and remind the world just how strange that day really was. They claimed that a group of circular objects hovered past them, just over the tops of the nearby trees. They were arranged one on top of the other and were flying very close together. While the number of saucers that the witnesses claim to see varies between 1 and 3, they're all in agreement of the actions of the craft. They paused when they reached the trees and suddenly dipped down, disappearing from view before popping back up again just as suddenly. They then rose up a little further, tilted to one side, and flew off at breakneck speed before disappearing out of view once again. That really is a lot of kids who all seem to have seen the same thing, with not one kid out there claiming otherwise, which is pretty good evidence that they probably did see something incredibly bizarre and mysterious that day. It's hard to claim that so many people could all hallucinate the same thing at the same time after all, with there being kids making that even less likely. Adults even saw some strange stuff. with one investigator heading to the spot the kids pointed out in order to take a look. He was passing by after the objects disappeared and was hailed by the shocked group of children. He saw a large, circular area on the grass had been flattened, as if by a massive weight. The area also had 3 further indentations that looked like something a set of landing pads would make. The military ended up swooping in soon afterward, locking the area down and keeping especially quiet about the incident. That's peculiar, and definitely suggests the kids saw something the authorities would rather not talk about. Number 2. Los Angeles. When you live in LA, you're probably used to seeing some pretty bizarre stuff during any given day. Unless you're a complete recluse. It comes with the territory, and it takes a lot to faze the locals. One event definitely caused a bit of a stir, however, with a UFO being spotted high in the sky over the city. It was met by a response by the LA County Sheriff's Department, who decided that they needed to get involved. They sent a helicopter over to take a look, following up on all sorts of eyewitnesses calling them up to report the strange object. The UFO just hovers in place as the chopper circles it slowly, not one to get too close. The pilot is obviously confused about what's going on. We do have to admit that the object does look quite strange. It's perfectly spherical and doesn't really move much at all throughout the video. If we looked outside and saw a scene like that, we'd be pretty freaked out. The guy shooting the video, however, seems pretty calm despite his interest. It was confirmed that this video is real and was not a hoax, with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department's RO Bureau later stating that they'd sent a chopper out to investigate the object we see here, which doesn't always happen. Their answer, however, didn't sit well with a lot of people, as they released a statement claiming that the UFO was nothing more than a helium advertising balloon that had escaped from a vape community called Brass Knuckles. We think that's hilarious and can't get enough of it. Some, however, aren't quite so enthused, with many people saying that they don't believe the official statement and that it's all part of a cover-up. That's a plausible answer too, and it wouldn't be the first time that our governments tried to get away with sweeping their dirty little secrets under the rug. If this really is a big conspiracy, the real question is whether or not they're trying to cover up alien contact or just a top-secret military operation. In that scenario, odds are good that the military probably screwed something up, although we really can't discount the fact that it is within the realm of possibility that the object was piloted by aliens. Then again, sometimes a helium advertising balloon really is just a helium advertising balloon, but we weren't there, so we don't really know either way. All we can rely on is what the video shows us, and we have to admit, it's pretty spectacular, and seems pretty out of this world at first glance. Number 1. Donji Milanovac. This isn't the first time that a mass UFO sighting has occurred in Serbia, and it certainly won't be the last, if the recent past is any indicator. It seems that the country is a hotspot for bizarre UFO activity, and draws UFO enthusiasts from all over the world, with many claiming that it's one of the best spots to be if you hope to catch some unique footage of extraterrestrial spacecraft doing their thing. The most recent sighting took place in the area surrounding Donji Milanovac, a sleepy town in the eastern part of the country. Its history dates back at least to ancient Mesopotamian times, with the town being built atop the remains of an ancient 8,000-year-old settlement. It's no secret that the ancient Mesopotamians are said to have had contact with extraterrestrials in the past, with many people claiming that they were even bestowed technology and wisdom that helped their civilization thrive. This could be a coincidence, but we're sure that a lot of people will end up connecting the dots and making the assumption that they have to be related somehow. We can't speculate much on that because, well, we weren't around 8,000 years ago. What we do know is that the recent sighting involves actual video evidence, which is, we have to admit, rather impressive as far as UFO videos go. It's no masterpiece, but it does get the point across quite well. It definitely does look like there's something going up in the sky, and it definitely doesn't look man-made. 5 bright objects are seen flying around and lining up into triangles and performing some sort of aerial maneuver. It doesn't take them very long to get situated, and they seem to pause for a bit before changing their placement once more. At that point, they disappear quite suddenly, as if they were never there. There seems to be no trace of them after the fact. Many people are saying that they could have just been stars or some sort of camera issue, but others have stated emphatically that there's no way to describe the scene as anything other than a UFO encounter. Plenty of witnesses in the town say that they saw the objects too, and are pretty much all convinced that they saw something otherworldly that day. We think that it's possible that this sighting is very much like many UFO sightings all over the world, with many of them simply being tests of experimental but still very human aircraft or other tech. That being said, it's worth repeating that the area is known for being a UFO flyby zone, and it's hard to argue with so many people backing the story up, especially since there have been plenty of similar sightings throughout Serbia in recent years. Alright, Top 5ers, we have something very exciting for you to see. Make sure to visit our other channel, The Brilliant. If you like what we have on Top 5's Finest, then we know you will love what we have there too. But be warned, the videos over on The Brilliant are extremely addicting to watch as well. There will be a link in the description to The Brilliant channel, so make sure to visit us now. Or you can go to our latest video popping up on screen right now. Come on, click it. You know you want to. Oh, and while you're here, subscribe also. Heard it gives you superpowers. Anyway, see you soon.